I went frame by frame, and I did skip two of Coralline's lines by mistake. They are, since you only have room for one, I'll start you off with one photo bomb, which is interesting. I assume that line would be different if I had more room. That's a nice detail. And the other line is, there's an elusive sniffer in arrays that only shows up for a moment. So yeah, my bad. I also looked at the teleporter right before the thermal boss. The marrow had just transformed back into a sniffer right before I teleported, and I wonder if there's a specific timing thing where it won't appear if you teleport at the wrong time. That's the sort of thing that I didn't really test too extensively. Didn't exactly have robust tools to repeatedly try to reproduce stuff like that, though. But I'm not making excuses. Anyway, hopefully that won't happen this time. I guess I'll wait around and see if anything's different. Hopefully it'll be fine. Also, I'm pretty sure the achievement for the unlocks is if you've unlocked all upgrades and weapons. So, nothing new on that front. Here we go again. Silver lining, at least I get to try the coral garden again. Maybe I can make some progress there. Four nodes? Oh, right, I forgot about this. I think this is to help you fast track the quests, but it's even glitchy. Why the heck not? I was thinking of maybe sacrificing myself to Shanjal to try that, but I can do it later. I really appreciate this option. Well, apparently the pea shooter had messed up damage scaling on bosses. I don't know the details of how that system works, but originally you were never really intended to use the pea shooter outside of like the first level. But now, with the achievement and with this option, Neo had to make it work, balance it properly. And yeah, if you skip, you also get a weapon, which is nice. That only happens if you pick that boss node. I think you can reroll the weapon into a different weapon and the bomb into a different bomb. Maybe if I mess up another quest in the future. Well, in this case, I guess it's technically not my fault, because I'm not sure that was supposed to happen. But, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, if I have to redo a quest and I get that node again, I'll try to reroll just to see. Something that my friend Algol pointed out that I had never noticed myself. There's a motif, or at least part of the music in Arrays, specifically maybe the shop theme. Kind of sounds like the legend motif from Deltarune. Now I can't unhear it. I'll try to point it out. Oh, actually, there it is. That totally sounds like it. Might just be a coincidence, but I can't help but wonder. I don't know how the timeline lines up for that, though. I'm leaning towards coincidence. Because what the heck does rays have to do with that? Okay, let's get the Sniffer back. New chat topics. Ah, right. Your pet. Why do I have a chum in my shop? Well, his name is Chops. He's from our latest litter. Chum are very social animals, and live in huge packs. He got separated from the rest of his litter, though. I found him before it was too late. I think he imprinted on me in the process. Bark, bark, said the fish. What am I going to do when he grows up? Not all chum grow up. It depends on their hormonal balance. If one has an excess in a particular type, they turn into a lancer. They can protect the rest of the pack, and the coral too. Bark, arf, bark. That's right. But most chum live and die at a normal size. Chops was a runt of the litter, so you won't get much bigger than this. Do we eat chum? It depends. Some of the bigger chum need to be culled from the pack to save resources. They have a sour taste, and some consider them a delicacy. But a lot of chum are food for bigger animals, like husky. Also, not all of us are carnivores. I personally eat mostly algae. Now, let me see. I know half of them are going to be dead. Yeah, but these are definitely fully grown. Damn it! Now, in that case, I was holding space to confirm that. I guess that's a bit of an oversight. I just never messed with the garden after the skips were added. Otherwise, I would have picked up on that. Would you like to release it into the wild? Of course. Okay, I've sent it out. Oh, it looks like this coral is done growing. Yeah, that's what I skipped over by accident. Now, I do think I want to try again. So, brain is done. I feel like I did bubble properly. Oh, are the plots not vacant yet? Huh. Well, I guess that's another thing that Neo could try to fix, because I would like to plant multiples of the same thing and try different parameters, if I'm not sure. And tuba's done. Yeah, you can open this page again, but now you can't plant the marrow anymore. Maybe I'll try these again since I messed them up last time. So, pH basic. Should it actually be at the minimum? Is that what I got wrong? Is it actually that granular? That would be my guess. So basic would be the same as none. Wait a minute. Okay, let me try it this way now. Because this would be otherwise average conditions, right? In this case, low CO2, which again, low, basic, and none would be the same if that's correct. pH. I'm also gonna leave like that. If this is actually correct, the terminology in the book is inconsistent. I just didn't think about that hard enough because I never successfully raised all of the coral. Maybe 2 or 3. Like, I think I somehow did bubble right at some point, but I don't remember the details. Anyway. Could get some max POW. Sure. And I'm gonna make it a point to save up pearls, let me think. There's more of this than there's all of relays. I'm just gonna try not to spend any more pearls so I can play circuits properly. I'm recording this pretty much immediately after the last part because I was not satisfied with that. Good thing too, because now it's all fresh in my mind. Back to get another sniffer. Oh, the sniffer already found the lab and thermal for you. Should be able to go there and get the part now. Really? But... wait. I didn't see an entrance to the... oh no, have I found some kind of weird... I guess when I get there, if there's no entrance to the lab, I'll know that something is wrong. So, noticing something different? Whenever you successfully raise coral and send them out to the wild, the background changes. That's brain coral, that's tube coral, and, yeah. I only noticed that somewhere close to the end of testing when I actually managed to do it properly. And it was specifically just tube coral. That's the other thing, there were some issues with the coral minigame. They were actually so messed up that I can't remember exactly what it was, but essentially dragging and dropping them didn't work properly. And I couldn't really do it. But yeah, that is honestly so much more rewarding than getting some kind of upgrade or something. Eventually this place is gonna look pretty great. Yeah, I guess you can also dodge in between those. Only one of them can detonate within a short time frame, like I said before. Even if you don't dash around to completely avoid them, it's still not that bad. Maybe it's because I almost have no extra damage, but Puncher feels kinda weak. Okay, I need to do better than this. That was pretty bad. This should be worth it. Sure. I guess I'll just pick this up. That's fine. Could have gone for another reroll to see if I could get a cluster bomb. Maybe that could have been good. I noticed a strange behavior with Puncher where... maybe I should have pointed that out, actually. If you're really close to a target, even if it has very little life, it seems to absorb all of the Puncher shots all at once. which I think makes the weapon noticeably worse than it would be otherwise. But I didn't use Puncher an awful lot, I don't think. So it took me quite a while to notice, and I had other things on my mind. Shop could have a cluster bomb, it'll actually go random. Aha, that's what I was hoping for. Beam. Yeah, sure. Beam should be very effective here. I thought it didn't manage to fire, but it did. That was very close. I do like the sound effects on the lightning bar projectile. They're subtle, but you can kind of hear it moving by you. At least that's what it sounds like to me. Some sort of humming sound, from what I can tell. Has Hourglass showed up before? Extends chain timer, automates QuickTime caching. I like the first line, but I don't like the second line. I feel like automating a process that you should be a natural at is sort of comparable to Autobomb. But hey, Autobomb is gone. Instead we have something much more useful. But I guess it would be good enough for the extended timer. I don't know. I just feel like the chaining system should be balanced to begin with, and something like Hourglass shouldn't be necessary. That's just me, though. Needler Burst Flak. Why not? I think that should work out. And it's 50% damage, so... There's Needler. This time I'll actually get to use it up. That was very greedy. I'm playing with fire here. I know I'm underwater, but still. Not too bad in the end, though. The more pearls, the better. For the, for circuits, that is. A shield? What else could I possibly get out of this? I'll just take the shield. weapon switch again. I forget if it did this pattern on this playthrough yet. It's kind of a tricky one. It's just streaming, but the way it moves and spreads its body around makes it a bit tougher. You have to move in different directions. You can't just pick one. Now I can go for a cluster bomb. Damn it. Could try again. Yeah, sure. There it is. Okay. I think this is about as good as it gets for circuits. And yeah, no more access nodes. Aha. Electropathy. See the spines on my back? They let me control electricity, but they can emit signals too. We eels use it to talk to each other. Sounds like this. That is actually... It's not random nonsense. He is actually saying something there. I just can't make it out. Could you hear that? Oh well. I'm sure you'll get it eventually, boss. You're a special little machine, after all. Okay, rematch. Yes. Checking the rules with tab is kind of weird. Because that just shows your hand. Oh wait, shift for rules, god damn it. I just forgot. Yeah, I did do this when I first played the game in testing. Ah. Circuits rules. Match as many of the suits in the bubbles to the cards in your hand as you can. Order matters. Winner takes the pot. And the player can claim their reward in items. Number of items, number of match cards. Raise, add 100 to the pot. Spike, add 500 to the pot. Reroll, reroll the bubbles. Fold, forfeit the pot. So yeah, I just forgot about that and I wasn't looking here. None of them match. Maybe I could wait for him to reroll, assuming that the locks will only stick around after I reroll once. Right now that's what I'm thinking. Oh, he spiked. That tells me his hand is good, so I should probably reroll. Nope. That's still nothing. I guess he didn't have anything either. Maybe I should reroll so I can lock that, and yeah. Still no better. And yeah, this time the lock remained. So yeah, I guess you can only secure with the locks to protect from his reroll once. Ah! He folded. Well, I fold. I had no matching cards. Good game. You can claim your prize of 2,700 pearls and an item. Beer? I haven't seen beer. I saw something else. I think I'm gonna have to try that again. Now's finally the time for me to get good at circuits. I think I understand it better than I have before. Bomb to... Can I? I mean, I've never picked up beer before, so I will actually take it. 2 HP and 30% power. Okay. Yeah, now I understand what get drunk means. Does this effect persist? That would be hilarious. Oh, that doesn't seem right. Or is this actually intentional? I have no idea. I did not get to experience this in testing. Okay. That's pretty funny. Actually, was this even in the build I was playing? Huh. Oh yeah, the marrow can stick to the laser square nodes. I don't know if they do anything or if you can try to avoid shooting them so they don't turn into something else, maybe. Oh. I think the marrow can also spin the laser squares. Oh, the effect wore off. Okay, so it's a gradual thing. It seemed to mess up the eel wall background, though. That was a little strange. Well, I have so many pearls after winning that. Ah, Zipper. Okay, I have a lot to say about Zipper, and now's the time. I guess I could also grab this for more stats first. Now this is gonna leave me at 1 part for a shield, right? Yeah. And why not just buy everything out? So if you just tap fire, you get these 2 lasers that are spread out and converge to a single line. If you hold for long enough, it does that. Which I think is comparable to a fully charged laser shot. Oh no, I wasn't thinking. And it fires several, so that's pretty strong. Oh, and kind of dangerous here, yeah. Gotta be mindful of that. But I want to explain, this is not how Zipper originally worked. The same sort of fully charged laser shots were produced by the player character while you hold fire, and you couldn't change the angle that you're firing at until you let go of the fire button. So you could freely aim these weaker lasers, but if you were holding fire, you would have to aim by moving. So during stages, if you shot in a perfectly horizontal line to the right and never let go of the fire button, you essentially turn it into a classic horizontal shmup, like a non-twin stick shmup. And if you were good about dashing and positioning yourself, it was super strong. You could just blast through everything in no time flat. But it was very difficult to use, and I think Neo changed it. Right, he said he changed it because it was, in that form, it was very bad against bosses. And I didn't really experience that. I felt like it was hard to use against bosses, but you could still pull it off against some of them. Others that make you move around the screen a lot more, where aiming in different directions is basically necessary, yeah, you'll struggle, but you could still rapid fire this even then. I don't know. I kind of liked the old Zipper, and I don't know, I don't think that there's any legacy branch of the game where you could play around with it, but I guess if any of you are curious about the old Zipper, just let Neo know. I personally prefer the old one. This one is still cool. I understand why Neo likes it. but I don't know. Something about how much easier this is to use is not as rewarding to me. And I think during stages it's actually worse than the old zipper, because it's entirely possible that enemies won't even appear in this line. You can technically have two active at once for a brief period. But yeah. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. Well, blink is... there's basically no upgrade option there for me. I guess I'll take voltage. It's not really gonna matter. Now I hope that when I get to the end of thermal, everything is good and I can finish this quest, or else I'm gonna have to talk to Neo and figure something out. Wouldn't be the first time. Worth noting, I've never actually tested a game before, so this was my first time. The closest thing I've done is telling some developers of early access games some things, feedback, reporting a bug or two, but nothing that would get my name listed in the credits. Ah, I thought I could keep it going there. I will say it's interesting how this version of Zipper makes thermal much more dangerous if you're not careful. But yeah, for instance, I'm not really thinking about how I use this zipper, I'm just sort of holding the fire button. Lab, okay. So what was supposed to happen... Wait, I fought a boss. Huh. I can't remember if you had to fight the boss before going to the lab or not. I don't think you had to, so whatever the hell happened, the sniffer didn't spawn the lab node like it was supposed to last time. It would have had the same effect as when it was pointing you towards thermal. The same sort of particles. So yeah, at least it's not a critical error. And now this. I believe this same screen was in the pre-update version of the game, because you still had to collect keys to go to the final area. But now that's been replaced with the quests. Also pretty sure that the lab screens reset your POW to 0. And that previous wave, that was a turret I could control. You have to put your mouse in its radius and aim. You can't use your regular weapons while that thing is on screen. Which is kind of a fun gimmick. Oh, Neo reused that effect for the alcohol. That's pretty funny. So this is something new. Loaded memory from the Chimera project. That is gnarly and really cool. That is such a great showcase of what the problem with the glitches is. Calling for a meeting early this week, Ray. Must have had too much caffeine in the lab before you sent that email out. Hysteria, this meeting is important. I wanted to discuss an idea Orphish and I had regarding Worm. A device that would tap into Worm and allow us to fix all of the problems on Carsona. Ah, that sounds interesting. And crazy, of course. Joke. Crazy is in her genome. True. I know, Asteria. I know it sounds crazy. But think of the news from the past 30 cycles. A coral farm in Arrays destroyed. Race kelp forests in septic due to a glitch storm. Mass injury in relays after a steel plane bisected a city building. All of this unnecessary suffering we can undo. Well, shoot, Ray. You have a spark here. Let's hear it. I have some plans drawn out. Worm is responsible for all of the glitches on Carsona, correct? It materializes all of the drones and equipment we use. Right. And we know that any computer we design that tries to interface with Worm can't understand its responses. I tried myself. I got the eels to help, but everything's failed so far. It had me stumped. How could it be so different from other cephalopod technology we worked with? Interject. What Ray was missing was that Worm is not merely a machine, but biomechanical. We know that materialization is like a computer program that runs on a brain. To run the program, Worm is half flesh, half machine. The two are fused by the cephalopods. So, we need a biomechanical computer to interface with it. This computer would be a chimera of flesh and machine. It can shape marrow into brain... Excuse me. I can shape marrow into brain matter as an extension of my mind. By lending the computer Marrow's thinking power, it could make sense of Worm's mind. Through Worm, I could make whatever I desire. But, of course, this is impossible without your expertise, Asteria. You're the only one of us with experience bioengineering, combining flesh and machine. Intriguing. The spark really would change everything. And yet, solving this will be a real challenge. Integrating you into the machine and working with the marrow will prove tough. But I'm excited. It's been a long time since I've worked on a real head scratcher. Wait, didn't I point that out? Neo, did you forget? Obviously that's supposed to be on a real head scratcher. Oh well, it's just one letter. It's the big deal. I knew you'd be up for it, Asteria. We can discuss more next cycle. So yeah, the plot thickens. And we get this ominous prompt. Was it inevitable? It was. I don't think it matters what you say there. But it's, I thought pretty hard about my choice there, I will admit. So that's 1 out of 4. And the Sniffer Quest is done. Found the lab with the Sniffer. Now, what else is in here? Ooh. Yeah, there's quite a bit to unlock here. I forgot. Refactor. +1 bomb per stage. Bomb to reroll upgrades. Needless to say, this is really, really good. I think that'll be very useful. And I think if you're full on bombs when you start a stage... Wait, stage... Maybe I'm just forgetting my terminology. I get it mixed up with other games as well. But yeah, I think if you're full on bombs, it'll salvage the basic bomb into POW. I'm pretty sure. Aura fires at mouse cursor, deals damage within a radius. Click elsewhere to move. This was originally one of the weapons before the update. Now it's locked, and it's also been changed. And since I'm in a habit of picking weapons first, I guess I'll do that. I've heard some people say that they don't like Aura, and I can understand that. because speaking of difficult to use, Aura still is. But I do actually like that, and I started to get the hang of it near the end of testing. But yeah, that should tell you that it takes a while to get used to and use properly. So next time, I'll start the next quest for an amplifier piece. I think I know which one it's gonna be, but maybe I'll change my mind, so I won't say. Thank you for watching.